How are you doing, everybody? Welcome back to the Shaun Attwood channel. I'm Ron Swanson. We're back with another episode of Code Red, looking at the news and pulling apart the stories behind the stories. And today we're delving into what has been a great year for evil, sadly. And we're going to just sort of recap all of the situations that have taken place this year and discuss some points about Virginia, some points about Charlie, Ghislaine Maxwell, the Epstein files, this like books. Sorry, somebody just messaged me and derailed my brain there for a second. This book that Ghislaine had given to Giuffre for his birthday. I'm just trying to pull that up just now. Second. Where are you, rascal? Here you are. I should just be able to copy this, right? That worked? Yeah. This thing here, man. The first 50 years. Freaking madness. It's like 240 pages long. Of just Ghislaine just simping hard. No, Ron's not geared. This is how Ron's house is 24/7. Okay, this is a lifestyle choice. Okay, we've got, what else we got? You seen what's up here? You seen the goat heads? Oh, it's a fun day. It's a fun day, guys. Fun day. But yes, we're gearing up for the fun month, shall we say? But this is it's just nuts. Look at this. Look at this hairdo. Like that microphones and potential predators right there. But it just goes on and on and on. But we'll get to all that. Now, I've started an investigation into a new app that is going around, and it's not looking good for the app, and there'll be more on that later. Any of you seen any of the stuff going around about this person? Anybody seen this face going around? If not, I will educate you later on this week. I want to start with Virginia, right? That was really the first big, major loss that took place this year. And, you know, it all started when Virginia posted a very strange image and a very strange story about her being hit by a bus, okay? Hit by a bus at such a rate of speed that she ended up in hospital. And I need to remind everyone that the bus driver came forward in that case. And he was a retired former paramedic and a school bus driver. So I'm going to say, right, that this school bus driver was probably not doing 70 miles an hour, okay? Being that when the crash happened, he got out of the bus, he spoke to the single occupant of the car, a single person. Now, you know yourself, if you have any sort of an accident and you get out of your car, your perception of who is in the vehicle is heightened. Is there any children? Is there a pet? How many passengers is there? Oh my God. That's kind of what we go through. But as a paramedic, that is going to be even more heightened. And it was only one person in the car. And it was such a low speed in which the collision, it was a case of the car turning in front of the bus braking. They never even exchanged any insurance information because it was such a minor incident. And he only spoke up when he seen Virginia's message in the news about what had happened. He was worried that it was an insurance scam, as you would, right? So he went to the papers and gave his side of the story. There's just nothing else, right? Virginia was never in an accident to be taken to hospital. So if that's the fundamental building blocks for her entire narrative for her unaliving, it starts off in lies. Then you're telling me, right, that Virginia Giuffre is in a hospital in Australia and nobody does TikTok or nobody does YouTube or there's no journalists in Australia that can document her going in or out or anything. Nothing. And then after her alleged release from hospital, we get 2 images of her allegedly going to pick up like animal feed. What? It's mind-blowing madness. Then the sad event where we get told that Virginia has taken her own life. What? Then we see various interviews. We had a great interview on the Piers Morgan show that really peeled back some of what's going on here. And I'm just going to say, right, there's a lady. What was her name? Lady something or other, actually. Lady Harvey? 1 second. Yes. So, this is the crazy simp ex-girlfriend of Prince Andrew, right? And I mean that when I say wholeheartedly the crazy simp ex-girlfriend of Prince Andrew. There we go. There we go. And share. Nailed it. This lady here. So she, right? Now just bear with me here, okay? She said some things on the Piers Morgan show, okay? She said some things. And yes, this is the thing. I agree. Right? But she said some things on the Piers Morgan show. And I just want to say, in the current climate, quite interesting. Because she talks about Israel in that interview. And she sounds mental, right? I mean, the way that she spits it out sounds bonkers. And it's interesting that she started coming out with all that, because it was delivered in the way that a simping, psychotic ex-girlfriend of a partner who's being accused of something horrible, who's desperate to be his savior, would come out with in the current climate. Now, Diddy, Epstein, blackmail. The story goes there was terabytes of information on the Diddy hard drives. There was terabytes and videotapes, and God knows how long Epstein's been doing it. There's probably like freaking 50 mil film. We've not seen one frame of a single piece of footage from either case. Now, let's all just have a think in our head, right? Who, when we think of the Epstein case, when you think of the Epstein case and the face of justice, the only face of anything is Virginia's, right? So arguably, we could call her a witness, okay? And if you were trying to hide a bunch of files and you were trying to selectively release files, but you have a witness out there that can contradict some stuff, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying it's all a bit like terribly written detective novel level. I'm just reading your wonderful side chat here, people. Oh, also, I found some less crap music that I'm going to try and upload to this actual thing, so that Ron can think properly. So when I started my investigation in Virginia, I spoke to people that she had worked with who had been internet investigator friends of hers that had her mobile number, that had her email, they were communicating with her. And I spent a couple of weeks trying to talk to as many people as I could, and no one could produce proof of life to my satisfaction for Virginia from October 2024. And when I say proof of life, I mean a video call, I mean a phone call, I mean anything that isn't just a text format. No one. And to me, when the most famous and important individual in the Jeffrey Epstein case, as far as public recognition, symbol for hope, strength to others, all of that, who, by the way, is a mother who has been allegedly battered to pieces by her husband, who then the government gives her kids to her husband, who then unalives herself. A woman who has gone through the life of trauma and become this strong symbol of what you can be, decides to just unalive herself. Is that right, Is that right, And then you've got all these images that came out. The bruises, all of this. It doesn't add up. And when we talk about the cabal putting it in our faces, rubbing our noses in it, I genuinely believe that that picture that was released, that was turned on its side so that it was this way, was a picture of Virginia unalived. 100%. Yeah, Free BC is interesting, right? Because I'm working with a lady just now and a group of women who have had their children removed from their custody by the British government. They've all been given legal gag orders so they can never, ever, ever talk about the fact that their children have been taken from them. And if they do, they go straight to prison. And every single one of them have a partner who their children have been given custody to that are abusive and abusers. And there are law firms that are helping these abusive fathers use loopholes to remove custody from the mother. And this has been going on for 3 decades. One of the mothers had been trying so long to get her children back, she wandered down to a beachfront, covered herself in petrol, and lit herself on fire. Women are incredibly strong, but when hope is taken, right, people are capable of just terrifying acts. So, fun story. Will you cover this topic? Some of the Oh, look, Laura, you don't have to worry. Sadly, Ron just wanted to make camping videos, right? And has sadly become quite the expert on all forms of PDF files. Will you cover this topic? Some of the fathers are... When you say this topic, did you already give me the topic and I've missed the topic? Or do you just mean the topic of PDF fathers? Because they're the more commonly known of the two PDF parents. I've had conversations with mothers or women who just want to meet a PDF so that they can have a PDF family and raise a bunch of little kids to share with other PDFs. I highly suspect that something odd was given to her at the hospital. I don't think she was never in the hospital, Shakti. What was she in hospital for? She certainly wasn't hit by a bus or taken to hospital. In my humble opinion, I respect your opinion, just so you know. But nah, she was never in hospital. She was taken in 2024. She was taken in 2024. 100%. 100%. And I'm going to stick by that until somebody can prove me otherwise. And yeah. How we doing, Paul M? Number 2, how are you? Shout out Kaza, how are you doing? No, it's not a new hairdo. I've just tied it up. I just washed it. It's got stay-in conditioner mask in it. It's, you know, it's telling you. So yeah, no, there's not a new hairdo. I can't wait to be playing with my hair again. If everyone's just watched this for the last 2 days and is like, yes, finally Ron's not playing with his hair. No. So Virginia, her untimely passing. How peculiar. And now we have a 60 minutes freaking episode where Virginia Giuffre's entire family gathered in a...
She battled the world's most powerful...
I was just a toy to be used.
...and dangerous.
I got out of it. It was an escape, but it was an escape with a happy ending.
But Virginia Giuffre kept another secret.
She was telling us, like, this is what I'm really going through.
Now, her family revealed...
It's just like this switch.
...her private pain.
I have never seen my sister that weak.
And fight.
Is that right, Is that right?
No wishes.
We want to make sure the world knows.
Virginia Giuffre was
also, this woman, right? I could totally believe that she's like a 4,000 or 5,000 year old like being, right? She's just got one of those faces where I'm like, you know something, you're up to something. But this is all about her family rewriting the things inside her memoirs to fit the story that is more true to Virginia's story. What? What? So when her book is released, it will be slightly edited. That is just top tier cabal madness. I just want to say, like, to do it so publicly to somebody so well known and then come up to us in our faces and go, buy the book that we've just rewritten. Nothing going on here. Like, I'm not crazy, right? Like, that's, y'all seeing my point, right? Oh, Luke Mitchell. Yeah, don't worry. That doesn't help, by the way. Which, regarding Luke, is it a DM? Nope. Is it in the newsroom? You're going to have to give me more information, man. But, yeah, Luke Mitchell's, that's a story for another day. And I'll tell you something, if you don't know the Luke Mitchell case and you start looking into the Luke Mitchell case, you ain't going to sleep for the next 2 nights, okay? Because you're going to be sitting there going, and then you're going to look at what happened to his mother and you're going to be like, how? It is so, anyway, it's wild and very upsetting. So Virginia, her legacy is being rewritten. And then we get a new character downloaded onto Earth's server. Okay. And this new character has a mission. Okay. Because the server admins that he works for gave him a little mission, right? To up, 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 up. This is the finger of up, 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 up. That's the finger of that. And Kash Patel, as the current leader of the FBI, right, goes on the Joe Rogan podcast. Can anybody else describe any other member of staff from the FBI from your entire life that you've seen on the television or on a podcast or anywhere, in fact, whilst they are currently employed? I'll wait. Thank you, Mandy. Anybody else? Anybody else ever even seen or could remember anybody from the FBI until Kash Patel? Because no one who is the top dog for the FBI is going on podcasts doing anything while they're employed. I asked a member of the FBI who I interviewed a few months ago, and he confirmed it's a madness. And he goes on Joe Rogan, the biggest podcast in the world, with an audience that has gravitated to Joe Rogan because of their absolute thickness of that they have towards the mainstream media. All of these factors that draw us all to finding our own answers and conclusions are now being corrupted when someone like Kash Patel kicks open. It's the equivalent of him kicking open your front door and coming in and going, Epstein files, mate. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, mate? There's no Epstein files. If they're, listen, I'm Kash Patel. Okay. I definitely don't abuse any substances at all, recreationally. I'm just saying, he definitely doesn't. Maybe he does. I don't know. Who knows? Just seems a bit high powered. I'm a bit high. I'm just saying, Kash, I'm watching you. And to go on the Joe Rogan show and say that if there was any files to release, he would have released them. And that Epstein definitely unalived himself. And there's nothing for us to worry about. And then we get a 12-hour piece of footage with glitches and questionable editing shenanigans, right? I'm pretty sure I've seen a massive folder with Epstein files written on it and a bunch of people holding it. And I'm pretty sure I've got quotes from within the Trump administration and from the Biden administration and from within the FBI stating how many files there are and, oh my God, how are we going to get through all of this? But yet, the finger of pop, pop, pop. Up, 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 up. See that? The mighty finger. Look at the power in that finger. He can change the... That is the wand. That is the wand of frickin' Saruman right there. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not Saruman. What's the Harry Potter guy? I'm getting my lore mixed up here. But this is the power. This finger has the power to just change the narrative. Or he can literally raise his finger, utter his magic word, up, 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 and just stop it in its tracks. Oh, Casimir. Sweet, yeah. That's great, Kaza. Can you like set up one of those like group conversations and add me into one, and we'll get that rolling. Nice one. Oh, is that on Twitter? Oh, maybe it's on. Oh, is it on Twitter? Yeah, it's Twitter. It's on. Sorry, I thought it was bloody Discord. Yeah, I'll ping them a message. What does Kash Patel's family do? I don't know. Man, I tell you what, though. He goes on Joe Rogan show. He basically makes these statements the same day that Elon Musk posts that Donald Trump is all over the Epstein files. Could I see Donald Trump being used as a FBI undercover agent? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Why? Do you know how many times Donald Trump got his ass saved financially because if his businesses collapsed, so would the banks. I honestly could see Donald Trump waking up one morning, maybe in the mid-90s, absolutely off his nut, wakes up on a sticky Vegas floor, the remnants of various ladies of the evening, high-class ladies of the evening pottered around, and then a man in a suit sat there with a briefcase and a set of Polaroids to say, "Nah, Donald, I'm here from the government. You're going to do us a little favor, or these pictures are going to go public." I can totally see that happening. You must be able to see that as a possibility, right? Because that's what I could see happening if it turns out that he was an undercover. I can't imagine he was picked because of his his skill sets. I think he knew Giuffre, and the FBI seen him as an easy target to be able to manipulate. I genuinely think that, and I'm not even manipulating in a bad way. I just think Donald Trump knows how to party. Now, everything that's gone on with these files, okay? We've had Virginia's unaliving. We've had Lady Harvey make these statements about Israel. We've got Kash Patel, who is now apparently the FBI influencer. Like, what? Also, Donald Trump's pen seems to still be getting bigger. The one that he signs with. I'm just wanting to point that out. Somebody needs to just release Trump markers that just get progressively bigger, all in black in a packet. He was allowed to always go bankrupt, but I reckon he had people hiding. You see, I think you're right, and I think you're half right, but I definitely have a memory of watching a documentary about some of his earlier businesses. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I think my point's still valid that Trump would be malleable with his own legal, consensual conduct, shall we say, behind the scenes. Now, allegedly. So Kash Patel starts us down the journey of there are no files. And then we get a distraction, right? We get a distraction. We've got the 12-hour piece of footage. Oh, I forgot one key issue in all of this. There was a little war that broke out that Donald Trump got involved in, wasn't there? There was a little scuffle that took place. Some people have certain words for it, but it's definitely not cool. And he brought out these bunker busters, right? And he got so frustrated that he was even swearing on television. Hang on a second. Let me just bring up who I'm talking about here. Dun-dun. Oh, that's a banger. Honestly, this man's face is just incredible. Like, look at that. That's a real person. Look at that. Do you know what? That he has his finger on all of the nukes. He also looks a tiny bit like a dinosaur. Like, I'm just saying. Like, if we evolved from dinosaurs, I'm pretty sure. Like, if you just lowered his head down to, like, if his neck started here and came out and up, dinosaur man. Anyway, what the hell was I saying? What was my point? Donald Trump. Oh, right. Tiny war. So Trump whips out his bunker busters, right? And something's going on. Because I've never seen Donald Trump frazzled. And he was frazzled during that conflict. And I said during that conflict that the actions of Donald Trump felt awfully like what happens when you back someone into a corner without them even knowing they're in the corner till they get there, and they have 2 or 3 seconds to verbalize a response. Oh my God. Oh my God. How are we doing, Paula M? How are you doing? In fact, Paula, you can come and join me if you want, if you're free. You want to come and have a chat about this, Paula. I'm talking about how evil has won this year. If you're busy though, don't worry. I've been pulling myself out the pit of Sarlacc again. But luckily we're out now and the mojo is back. Okay. Mojo is back. So there was this little conflict that kind of just upset Donald for some reason. Then the bunker buster thing happened, and then apparently everything was over. Nothing was over. Nothing. And it's that same country again. It keeps coming round. It keeps... Oh, that's all right, Paula. That's all right. We'll get everything set up for this week, Paula, but good to see you. How's Andy POV, by the way? I keep meaning to ask you on a Thursday, and I keep forgetting. Yeah, come and join the Discord. Right, hang on a second. So we should have a page called Links for Live Shows. I've done that. There's nothing in it from today. Now, actually, Kaza, you can go back to just spamming me with stuff on Twitter as well. Andy is great. Okay, that's good. Tell him I'm asking for him. This is Ron on Twitter. Feel free to spam me stuff on here. Or tag me or whatever the hell it is. That's Kaza does. Here we are. What? Oh, wow. Whoa. Man, like, X is just wild. Yeah, I've just seen that one that you sent about the right to R word. We need to look into a lot of this because when I was doing all of the transportation investigations and things like this, you would come across pieces of footage that were being reused for propaganda pieces. It doesn't mean that the piece of footage is fake. It means the reason behind what you're seeing could be fake. And yeah, we always got to just sort of double and triple check some of these things. So after the war is apparently settled by the bunker busters, I wonder what the hell Trump was made to do. Because I can't imagine it had anything to do with bunker busters. I'll be honest. So we then have the unaliving of Charlie, and we now have unconfirmed, other than by the expert who done the analysis through vector and layer mapping over the Charlie Kirk assassination, that has resulted in peculiar results where they're stating that it's more likely that this is video of somebody with a small explosive on them than a bullet wound. What? Also, what is with this Jacqueline Spawn crap? Can someone fill me in on what this bullshit is? Because I'm not here for it. What is this? Like, I don't like changes. Okay, fix it. Sort it out. Sort it out. So you think it sounds crazy though, right? Somebody sneaking an explosive into someone's microphone. What? But then you remember, right? Then you remember something. You're like, wasn't there a country that planned an entire assassination attempt against Hamas members using pagers? Now, I'm not a tech wizard, but are you being serious? Are you being serious? I can tell you. You are being serious. Yeah, it was Israel. Israel did that. Israel managed to get all of the Motorola pagers to be fitted with explosives, distributed to Hamas, and then blew them all up. In fact, let me just pull some news articles up. Because sometimes I say things out loud and I'm like, that can't be real. A year after Israel's pager attack on Lebanon, survivors rebuild. If you've seen that in a Netflix movie, you'd turn off the movie and be like, what? So, yeah, Hezbollah are a terrorist group. You know what I'm saying? Like, terrorist group's bad. And nothing suspicious about Israel. Israel's super cool. Just so everyone knows. Like, yeah, super cool. Wait, Hamas. Oh, wait, no, Hezbollah's a person, isn't he? Hezbollah's that little guy. Hang on a minute. Wait, oh no, that's something as well. What Hezbollah is a Lebanese Shia Islamic political party. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm getting all my words wrong. Yeah, not cool. I'm just saying, right? That's what it says. Okay? In fact, let's go deeper. Because y'all still doubting this. This one. Okay. Would you like to hear it from the ex-Israeli agents? Yeah? We cool? I'm pretty sure he's like the little guy is Hasbro. Listen, Ron doesn't claim to know words. Okay? So as long as we can agree on that. You know what I'm talking about, and that's all that matters. Two former Israeli agents have revealed how members of the Lebanese Shia militant group Hezbollah used Israeli-made walkie-talkies booby-trapped with explosives for 10 years before they were detonated in a surprise attack. Surprise! For 10 years. So, you then think, well, if they can do that, then all of a sudden this whole Charlie Kirk was blown up and not shot theory becomes like, why we now have to think this could be true. Okay, because all I'm saying, right, is if that's a thing, then this could be a thing. Okay? This is so messed up. I can't believe we're talking about the possibility of Charlie Kirk being assassinated with a tiny bomb inside a microphone. Right. Well, here's the thing. Stephen, here's the thing. So, Stephen, you're going to have to bear with me. You're going to have to go along with me on this, right? So, let's just say, for the sake of argument, Stephen, for this topic, for this point of discussion, that we're going to say that a certain nation that we've previously mentioned were involved in this. And you're smart. You're really smart. And you know exactly how the world works, social media works, and what happens in large crowds where there's a figure speaking or a band or anything like that. There's mobile phones everywhere, Stephen, right? And I've come to the conclusion that that is one of the strongest weapons for an operation like this that the opposition could have. Because if you purposely put out 20 or 30 things that people are going to record as they're happening that are really weird, it is going to cause so much distraction, so much division, so much arguing about everything. Every aspect of this. They create this spinning vortex of indecision about what has happened, about how and who. And it's almost an art. It's almost an art when you see it play out. And you want my top 3 little numbers for this one. The first one would be that guy that stood up and started shouting, yeah, 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 after Charlie Kirk was shot. Then you had the old man whose trousers kept falling down. Then you've got 4 members of staff that look like undercover CIA agents with their wee hats on, having hand spasms. Well, it's we're going to get to that. So, because it's interesting that you mentioned that, Rosie, because it's almost like every bit of footage that has been released has a new problem for us to solve, right? It's interesting, Rosie, right? Because with the cherry picking of the information that's released is information that has been designed to create confusion. How do you, Sarah? This is what we end up with. Or, right now, this is my wild card theory, right? This is Ron can never fully give up on hope. Okay. So this is like a 0.5% of belief. What about Donald Trump knew that state was going to try and take out Charlie Kirk? And what if the whole thing was shenanigans? They've let it go a bit far now. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, the prank has gone quite long. But I could see a massive plot twist where in like a couple of years, Charlie like walks out on stage and is like, well, have I got a story to tell you? Do you know what I'm saying? I could see that, but it's a very low amount. It's just a little bit of hope right there. But it never works out that way. Hope is a dangerous thing to hold on to in some of these cases. So, Charlie, the amount of controversy over freaking everything, all the footage, every single narrative is a nightmare. That has to be by design, right? I mean, it has to be. This is, in the eyes of the people, this is the perfect scenario for the public to further divide over, and for those 2 parties to then subsequently argue amongst each other even further. Because of the sheer amount of the sheer amount of, I believe this, I believe that, here's my receipts. We get stuck in a perpetual cycle and vortex of indecision and arguing. Personally, I think everyone's right. Okay? I think everyone's right. I think there was blank firing rifles, there was patsies, there was an explosion, there was sign language dudes, all of it. Sure, all of it's true, because the outcome is the exact same. Charlie is dead. It's about who now. Now, the badass Candace Owen put out a little short today. And like Candace is slowly becoming my new top contender for the main character in. Do you remember the movie Conspiracy Theory with Mel Gibson? I use this metaphor a lot, or comparison a lot. Like, she's going to put out a video one day that she nails everything completely on point, and someone's going to put her in the back of a van. Okay, and it scares me. All right.
Allegedly, it isn't allegedly that this is his family members telling me these details, but it is definitely, allegedly what they say until we can hear both sides. Lance, they told us, went to live with his relatives, so no longer in the house with his mother and father. Again, allegedly.
I just want you all to think about, oh, that's convenient. Just start playing that in your head.
His parents kicked him out junior year of high school because he was problematic. He allegedly has a lot of issues with drinking. That Christmas, approximately 3 years ago, he almost overdosed. He graduates high school, and then essentially the extended family says, you know, we can't keep you in our home because of his behavior. Just this past Easter Sunday, they are telling—
Stop talking bad about video games. Video games are awesome, okay? They're for grown-ups. Children shouldn't be playing them, okay?
me that he showed up on drugs and he was spouting out of his mouth about political stuff. And at this point, they felt that he could not be around children. Lance's family is telling me that they are not buying the current story and that they feel that more people are involved. He turned 22, they told me, back in August, and that he was, as I said, very into this dark web stuff. They told us that Tyler and him had been living together for at least a year, that they had not met Tyler, despite the fact that Lance had wanted to foster that meeting, that the two of them, this—
Ranks, can you expand on what DNA you're talking about for me, please, mate? I'd appreciate that.
couple, Tyler
I'm not being sarcastic, or I've obviously missed something involving DNA. Can you just let me know what you mean?
and Lance were living in that townhome that is owned by Lance's family, and that Tyler was paying rent to Lance.
There's
Lance
definitely at least one of them is going to be listening to me. Definitely, at least statistically, at least one person is going to be listening to me. I'm telling you. Definitely.
Payment to then. People are saying, who live in the neighborhood, that they noticed some unusual traffic, and this individual family member said to me, "Yup, we are."
That does not help me at all. Whose DNA? What DNA? Where was the DNA? What are we talking about? And again, I just don't know what I genuinely don't know what you mean.
They're hearing the exact same thing. That they would prod that narrative further, but there was some unusual traffic, a lot of cars that were seen outside leading up to the shooting.
Oh yeah, of course they're going to. Yeah, okay. So if we're talking about, it's like if I want to let this play out, and then I'll start ranting.
Days before the shooting, or the week before this shooting, I'll straighten out that timeline for you and get real specific, because I will pin down when exactly this was happening. But leading up to the shooting, that there were unusual traffic in the driveway where Tyler—
If anyone's listening to Ron, can you just put a 1 in the side chat? Because apparently no one's listening to me. So, and for the love of God, you better put a 1 in the side chat, so I will look like a complete tit.
Tyler Robinson and Lance lived. Cars that were not recognized in the neighborhood. This was not a couple that hosted people. It wasn't like they were expecting them to have parties. And so other people are saying that is something that struck them as odd. But there were apparently lots of different license plates, and it therefore—
Cheesy, you're a bell end.
And his name is John C.
Caused a little neighborhood, kerfluffle, because other people were not able to park their cars because there were so many people that were at this house. Unusual traffic. Again, if I don't feel good about what we're hearing, okay, and Lance Twig's family doesn't feel good about what we're hearing, there's more people involved.
Right. So we've got JD back again, right? Like, listen, you all know how I feel about this guy, but
So Candace Owens has come out with her full chest and said that Tyler Robinson is not the person who shot Charlie Kirk, and that the government is lying to us. She broke this in a post saying that she wanted to get it out immediately because she's concerned that something bad is going to happen to Tyler Robinson as part of this cover-up. Candace is claiming that she has a reliable source that has given her intel that Tyler Robinson's father never turned him in, that there was never any type of confession, that he maintains his innocence, and that he has never been to the UVU campus. What? Claims that that's why all that's been provided is blurry images, which Tyler's family knows is not him. And we all know that video surveillance technology is way beyond the super blurry images. And she reiterates repeatedly that Tyler has never once said anything about being suicidal. She also claims that the federal government is lying about absolutely everything other than the fact that the gun did come from Tyler. She's saying that all of those Discord messages were absolutely produced by the feds, and again, that he had never been to the UVU campus, but he was near the UVU campus that day. Do y'all think that Candace actually has a reliable source for this information, or that this is just weapons-grade cope? Let me know down.
Yeah, so take all of that with a pinch of salt, but at the same time, how I can wholeheartedly say that everything that I believe we've been told up until this point has been absolutely fabricated. I am watching the comments in the live chat, yeah. I'm watching them right now. That one says poor Virginia. That one says, how are you? Question mark. His glasses are creepy. Do you know why I wear these glasses? I'm going to show you, right? So let me just do something here like this. No, we're not connecting? That's brilliant, mate. Right. So, see the blue lights that are behind me. And then these remove all the blue light and stop my corneas burning out of my head. So, deal with it. Okay, so. Yes. I'm watching all the comments on all the platforms. Ron is watching them all. No, I know. I've actually been wanting to do that for a while. It's pretty cool. I have a feeling Candace is a diversion. I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. I don't think so. I don't know. But what I do know is this reeks of just a very intricate design that they've assessed how we, the public, are going to react to something like Charlie Kirk's death. That's the wrong picture. Like Charlie Kirk's death. They know how the public are going to react. They know the keyboard warriors. They know if they leave little nuggets everywhere, people are going to lose. Not your glasses, Ron. Okay, sorry, no problem. They know if they leave these little nuggets of confusion around, people are going to just go around in circles going crazy. And that's what it feels like. How you doing, Fifi? How did the law enforcement get Tyler's rifle? Well, Tyler obviously brought it to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying Tyler wasn't involved. I'm just saying I don't believe any of the narrative. But there's lots of ways a young individual can be coerced or groomed or programmed to do a lot of things. Yes. That one sentence sums up the last 53 minutes of me talking on the internet. Right there. That's it there. That's it. Paul, it gets the gold star. Well done, mate. You can stick that on the fridge, mate. And when people come around to your house and they say, what's that gold star for? You can be like, because I freaking nailed it. That's why. I fully expect you to make the gold star and put it on your fridge. Okay. Otherwise, what's the point in this? You know what I mean? Oh, no, I can't. My brain is broken. Okay, so right. I mean, you nailed it, Kate. There's a dark corner of the CIA laughing at all the conspiracy theories, playing a joke. I am one of the conspiracy theories because I mean, you can literally replace CIA with anyone who you believe is in charge of all this. And they are sitting back right now going to see, I told you if we put a little flashy thing next to that window and they're going to think that there's somebody firing from that room. Let's get a couple of guys running on the roof. What do you mean you want to make an old man's trousers fall down? What the hell is that? I stuck a sticker on my own eyelash. God damn it. I just peeled that off my lighter and then somehow managed to... There's nothing there, mate. I am not a crazy person. Okay? It fell off. It just seems too perfect. Not the result, right? But the actual aftermath of it all. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it gives me the same feeling as like when you seen the LA riots and you were like, why are there pallets of bricks everywhere? Why is that? Why is that a thing? Do you know what I mean? Like, who signed off on this? Like, who's in charge here? So evil is raising its ugly head this year. And I'm going to say tactfully that it's all starting to point to one place. There's theories. There are repeating factors. And I would like to just circle you back to where is all the blackmail footage? Where is all the blackmail footage from the island? Where is the blackmail footage from Diddy? I don't know. I've no idea at all.
So this just came out that Tucker Carlson has reported that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told multiple people, I control the United States. I control Donald Trump. And I think I speak for all of us when I say that we don't trust Tucker Carlson. We trust Benjamin Netanyahu and our government and Donald Trump, right? Did I say that right? Is that okay?
I'm not saying anything. I never said that. I didn't even mean to play that video. So we can just put that down a technical glitch. What? Now, see if you were a twisted, evil person, right? And you had a religious group outside the fence around your country. And you wanted to do like a sick weaponization and silent. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, right? But all I'm saying is there's something going on and it stinks. Now, in about half an hour, I'm going to be live over on my channel discussing the silent invasion of various countries around this world, what they have in common with each other, and the difference between assimilation and integration. So if you want to be part of that, come and join me over on the ProjectROOQ channel in about half an hour. Evil ain't going to win, okay? You got to remember, what did the movie Ants teach us, okay? You remember the movie Ants? If you haven't seen it, watch it, okay? Because what we have against them is we are the ball, okay? We are the ball. You take 100% of anything, slice off 1% of it, and then you think that the 1% versus the 99% is an even fight. Oh, that is the most landslide kick-ass victory ever. Like, I've said it before, we need to start believing in community and culture and what it means to be part of where you live. We need to care about our neighbors. We need to care about the people in our streets. We need to unite, and we need to remember what it is to stand and believe in for what is ours. History has a bloody past of people defending what is theirs, and we are the chapter in current human history that I define as the wet wipes. Everything that's taking place in the world right now, you, me, you, your friends, me, my friends, all of us have let it happen. It's our fault. We've let it happen. So now we need to think about what that means. So I will see you on my channel in about half an hour. Thank you all for being here. Please make sure you like and subscribe. I will be back tonight on the Shaun Attwood channel at 8 o'clock with a live call in the show, join the panel, further discussing the Charlie Kirk case. I think we're going to expand a little bit more on the blatantness of this operation that was put in place to take out Charlie Kirk. So come and join us then. See you soon. You guys are awesome. And we'll be back tomorrow, 2 o'clock, the Shaun Attwood channel, going over the David case. There's just been some breaking news on the case today. We're going to go over all of that because the cabal's been busy. Okay. I feel like there was a budgetary error in the cabal's list, and they're trying to just get rid of the budget before the end of the fiscal year that's coming next year. I don't know. The joke didn't land. Okay. Anyway, bye. Thanks. See ya. Love you. Subscribe.